If we can please close our eyes and start with a prayer. Dear God, please enable us to set aside everything we think we know about A Course in Miracles, about you, about ourselves, and about others, about everything. Please allow us to have an open mind for a new experience. Thank you, God. Amen. Hello, we are in A Course in Miracles, the complete and annotated edition, 2017, the Purple Book. And today we are in Chapter 1, Principles of Miracles, and we are on Day 12 and reading text Miracle Principle 25 through 27. Miracles depend on timing, and this is on page 16. Miracles depend on timing. See Cameo 6, letting Him take care of the minutiae. I have to giggle at my pronunciation. This is why you shouldn't waste time. I told you before that time would cease when it was no longer useful as a learning aid. 39. Text 1:15 through 1:4. It will cease when it is no longer useful in facilitating learning. There is a way of speeding you up, and that is by leaving more and more time for me so you can devote it to miracles. The reason I direct everything that is unimportant is because it is no way to waste your free will. If you insist on doing the trivial your way, you waste too much time and will on it. Will cannot be free if it is tied up in trivia. It never gets out. I will tell you exactly what to do in connection with everything that does not matter. That is not an area where choice should be invested. There is a better use of time. You have to remember to ask me to take charge of all minutiae, and they will be taken care of so well and so quickly that you cannot get bogged down in them. The only remaining problem is that you will be unwilling to ask because you are afraid not to be bogged down. Do not let this hold us back. If you will ask, I will arrange these things, even if you're not too enthusiastic. I am not intruding on your will, but I am trying to free it. Prayer can be very specific in little matters. If you need a coat, for example, ask me where to find one. I know your taste well, and I also know where the coat is that you would eventually buy anyway. If you do not like that coat afterwards, that is what would have happened anyway. I cannot save you more time than you will let me, but if you are willing to try the higher shopping service, which also covers all the lower order necessities and even quite a number of whims within reason, I have very good use for the time we could save. Remember, the specific answer you get depends on the specific question you ask. The fewer limits you impose, the better the answer you'll get. For example, you could ask, where can I find a particular brand of coat? Or, where is the coat I want? Or, where is the coat I should get? And so on. The form of the thought determines the level of the answer. Do not get bogged down in distractions if they now arise. 40. This line originally read, do not get bogged down in those dreams of last night. After taking down the preceding material, Helen had two dreams, which we read about yesterday, which upset her very badly. Jesus said that they arose to divert her attention from this material because she was so threatened by it. They are reflections of old learning patterns and arise because you do not like what I have said about leaving the minutiae to me. They merely illustrate your unwillingness to not get bogged down because you are afraid of the Course. So don't use them that way. This Course is about willingness, not unwillingness. Unwillingness has to be replaced by willingness, because willingness is a part of readiness, without which learning cannot occur. A miracle rearranges the order of perception and places all the levels in their true perspective. This heals at all levels because all sickness comes from confusing the levels. This principle immediately followed and seems to be an expansion on the corrected version of Principle 21. A miracle reawakens the awareness that the spirit and not the body is the altar of truth. This means that the levels here would be that of the body and the spirit. The reason for your difficulty with this is not that you doubt or distantate or cannot believe. Distantate or cannot believe. 42. Distantation is a psychological defense mechanism in which you mentally distance yourself from something, especially a source of threat. It is a stance of aloofness, estrangement and alienation, the opposite of engagement, intimacy, and identification. It is more of a reaction formation against a pull which you recognize is so intense that you are afraid. Reaction formation is a Freudian defense mechanism in which you mask an anxiety-producing emotion or impulse by exaggerating the exact opposite tendency. For example, you might devote yourself to extreme altruism in order to mask underlying selfishness. In the above passage, we adopt a pose of standing aloof from the teaching under consideration, in a state of doubt and disbelief, in order to mask what we are really feeling, an underlying pull toward the spirit, the intensity of which frightens us. You think you'll be uprooted. Lord, heal me is the only legitimate prayer. Psalm 6:2. Be gracious to me, O Lord, for I am languishing. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are troubled. Jeremiah 17:14. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. This also means, Lord, atone for me, because the only thing you should pray for is forgiveness. You have everything else. Now take this personally and listen to divine logic. If when you have been forgiven, you have everything else, and you have been forgiven, then you have everything else. This happens to be the simplest of all propositions. If P, then Q. P, therefore Q. Your real question is P true? If you will review the evidence, I think you will find this is inescapable. I went on very personal record to this effect, and I am the only completely true witness for God. You have every right to examine my credentials. In fact, I urge you to do so. It may have been years since you have read the Bible. The purpose of the atonement is to restore everything to you. That is, to restore your awareness of everything. You had everything when you were created, just as everyone did. Having been restored to this original state, you naturally become part of the atonement yourself. You now share my inability to tolerate lack of love in yourself and in everyone else, and must join the great crusade to correct it. The slogan for this crusade is listen, learn, and do. This means listen to my voice, learn to undo the error, and do something to correct it. The first two are not enough. The real members of my party are active workers. The power to work principles belongs to you. I will arrange the right opportunities for you to do them, but you must be ready and willing to do them since you are already able to. Doing them will bring conviction in the ability, doing them will bring conviction in the ability. I repeat, you will see miracles through your hands, through mine. You will see miracles through your hands, through mine. 45. This is a variation on the opening line of chapter 1. You will see miracles through your hands, through me. Conviction really comes through accomplishment. Remember that ability is the potential, achievement is its expression, and atonement is the purpose. So ability is the potential, achievement is its expression, and atonement is the purpose. 27. A miracle is a universal blessing from God through me to all my brothers. It is the privilege of the forgiven to forgive. Souls cannot rest unless everyone has found salvation. The disciples were officially and specifically told to heal others as physicians of the Lord. 46. Matthew 10:5 and 8. These 12 Jesus sent out and commanded them, saying, Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. Freely you have, bear with me, received, freely give. Freely you have received, freely give. Jesus may also have in mind Mark 16:18. They shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. As later on he says he has already mentioned this verse. See Cameo 15. All right, so they were told to heal themselves and they were promised that I would never leave or forsake them. 47. John 14:18. I will not leave you desolate. Hebrews 13:5. Let your conversation be without coveting, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Covetousness. I think I said that right. Atonement is the natural profession of the children of God because they have professed me. The children need both strength and help. You cannot help until you are strong. The everlasting arms are your strength, and the wisdom of God is your help. Deuteronomy 33:27. The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. Heaven and earth shall pass away means that they will not exist as separate states. My word, which is the resurrection and the life, shall not pass away, because life is eternal. 49. Mark 13:31. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. John 11:25. I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he die, yet he shall live. In the above course passage, rather than Jesus being the resurrection and the life, his word, his teaching is. You are the work of God, and his work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. This is how you must think of yourself in your heart, because this is what you are. 50 and 51. Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. The course reverses cause and effect here. Instead of how you think of yourself dictating what you are, What you are needs to dictate how you think of yourself. And then 51, see Cameo 7, an experience of revelation, which we will be getting there soon. And I am going to go ahead and read. We are on day 12 in the Course Companions group on Facebook. If you'd like to join, please do. Today we get to read all the guidance that Helen received about the fur coat incident. There's such a strong emphasis here on letting Jesus take charge of the trivia so that our will doesn't get trapped in endless minutiae. This is so our true will, which is to give miracles, can finally get out. So today we are going to focus on this. Can we let Him help us pass the trivia so we have more time for our true vocation? Again, it's interesting to note how Jesus flips the issue around. In other words, when we think of letting Him take charge of the minutiae, our initial response is usually that He is trying to intrude on our free will. His answer is that our true will is to give miracles, and so while we are bogged down in the trivia because we are doing it our way, our will is actually imprisoned. We may think He is trying to imprison our will, but His response is that we've been doing to ourselves all along. That's what we've been doing to ourselves all along. He is the one trying to free our will. Also, it's important to note that the backstory of this section centers around buying a coat versus manifesting one. To say, let me speed you through this buying a coat trivia so you can get on to the real stuff of helping others, is worlds apart from saying, let me teach you the all-important secret of how to manifest a coat and money and romance, etc. for yourself. It's also interesting that Helen and Bill distance themselves from this teaching through doubt and skepticism, which is a mask for the fact that deep inside they are actually feeling the pull of spirit so intensely it scares them. How many of us can relate to that? Even if you don't love the idea of turning over the minutiae, it's important to keep in mind that willingness is part of readiness, without which learning cannot occur. What this means is that it doesn't really matter how you feel. All that is asked of you is to have some willingness to turn over the little things, regardless of how small at first, which will not only save you time, but it will also condition you to turn over the big things. Along that line, there is an important statement in the manual that says, if you have made it a habit of asking for help when and where you can be confident that wisdom will be given you when you need it. That's in the manual for teachers. Lord, here I am. Thank you for joining with me. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for this time.